You keep waiting to feel ready, for the fear to go away before you act. It never fully goes away. And there is a reason for that, and it has nothing to do with willpower. Your brain is not designed to make you happy. It never was. It is designed to keep you alive. And those two goals are not the same thing at all. Sometimes they are direct opposites. Have you ever wondered why you can want something so badly and still find yourself avoiding it? That question sits underneath almost every stuck place in your life. The job you have not applied for, the conversation you keep postponing, the version of yourself you can picture clearly but cannot seem to reach. You call it procrastination. You call it fear. You call it laziness on your worst days. But none of those words explain what is actually happening inside you. What is actually happening is older than language. It is older than your personality. It is a survival system, running quietly, making decisions before you are even aware a decision was made. Here is the reframe. Your brain does not ask, will this make me happy? Your brain asks, will this keep me safe? Those questions look similar. They are not. Happiness often requires risk. Safety requires the opposite. Safety requires staying exactly where you already are, doing exactly what you already know. So when you sit down to do something new, something exposed, something that could end in rejection or failure, your brain does not experience that as opportunity. It experiences that as threat. Not a metaphorical threat, a literal one, processed by the same machinery that once kept your ancestors from wandering into a predator's path. The neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky spent decades studying stress in primates, and one of his central findings applies directly to you. The stress response was built for short, physical dangers, a chase, an attack, a few minutes of crisis, followed by resolution. Your nervous system evolved to handle that. It was never built to handle a slow-motion threat that lasts for weeks, like an uncertain job application, or a relationship you are afraid to have an honest conversation about. So your body reacts to modern uncertainty the same way it would react to a predator in the grass. Heart rate rises, muscles tense, the mind narrows, searching for danger. Except there is no predator. There is only a blank email draft or a phone that has not rung yet. Your body cannot tell the difference. It responds anyway. This is why you can feel physically exhausted after a day where you did not do anything physical at all. You were not lifting anything. You were bracing. All day long, in small, invisible ways, your nervous system was preparing for an attack that never came. That bracing has a cost, and you pay it quietly, without ever naming what it was for. Now, here is where it gets more interesting and more useful. Your brain is not just wired towards safety in general. It is wired to weigh bad experiences far more heavily than good ones. The psychologist Roy Baumeister, along with several colleagues, reviewed decades of research across relationships, memory, and decision-making, and arrived at a conclusion that has since become one of the most cited findings in the field. Bad is stronger than good. One sharp criticism outweighs 5 genuine compliments. One public failure outweighs a long stretch of quiet competence. This is not a flaw in your character. It is a design feature. An organism that remembers danger vividly and forgets safety quickly survives longer than one that does the reverse. Pleasant experiences did not use to keep your ancestors alive. Avoiding painful ones did. So think about what this means for you today. Every time you imagine putting yourself forward, some part of your mind is running a background calculation. What is the worst version of this outcome? What did it feel like the last time something like this went wrong? That old sting from a much smaller and less important moment gets quietly weighted as if it were a permanent forecast. You are not weak for feeling this. You are simply running an ancient risk calculator that was never updated for the world you actually live in. Consider how this plays out in something as ordinary as a performance review at work. You can receive 10 lines of genuine praise and 1 line of measured criticism, and walk out of that room remembering only the criticism. You will replay it in the shower. You will replay it in bed that night. The 10 positive lines evaporate within the hour. This is not because you are ungrateful or insecure or overly sensitive. It is because your evaluative system was built to prioritize the one piece of information that might signal danger ahead over the 9 that simply confirmed things were fine. Fine does not require action, danger does. So danger gets the spotlight every time. Does this mean you are stuck with it? No, but it does mean the solution you have probably been trying has been aimed at the wrong target. Think about the last time you avoided something you actually wanted to do. Maybe it was a text you never sent. Maybe it was an idea you never pitched. From the outside, it looked like hesitation. From the inside, it felt like danger, even though nothing physical was at stake. That gap between how small the risk actually was and how large it felt in your body is not evidence that you are irrational. It is evidence that an ancient alarm system is reacting to a modern situation using rules that no longer apply. The alarm is doing its job. It is simply solving the wrong problem. Most people respond to this fear system by trying to argue with it. They tell themselves to just be confident. They tell themselves to stop overthinking. They try to talk the fear down using logic, in the moment, while the threat response is already firing. This rarely works, and here is why. The part of your brain responsible for that fear response is faster and older than the part responsible for reasoning. By the time you consciously decide you are safe, your body has already reacted as if you were not. You cannot out-argue a system that does not use language. You have to change the input it receives, not the conclusion it reaches. This is where behavior researcher B.J. Fogg's work becomes useful. Fogg spent years studying how lasting change actually happens, and one insight stands above the rest. Change does not come from big, dramatic leaps. It comes from actions so small that your safety system does not register them as a threat at all. A tiny action slips past the alarm. A dramatic one sets it off immediately. This is why you can promise yourself a complete transformation on a Sunday night and abandon it by Tuesday. The size of the intended change itself triggered the exact resistance you were trying to overcome. So what does this actually look like in practice? Instead of telling yourself you will finally have the hard conversation, you simply open the message thread and read it again, without responding yet. Instead of telling yourself you will apply for the new role today, you simply open the application page and read the first paragraph. Nothing more. That sounds too small to matter. That is exactly why it works. Your nervous system is scanning for danger, and a small, low-stakes action does not register as one. You are not overpowering the fear. You are sneaking past it. Repeat that small action enough times, in the same context, and something shifts. The behavior stops feeling foreign. Familiarity, to your safety system, starts to look a great deal like safety itself. What once triggered a threat response now barely registers at all. This is not motivation. This is exposure, accumulated quietly, one unremarkable rep at a time. There is a second piece to this, and it matters just as much. Because your mind weighs negative experiences so heavily, you need more than repeated exposure. You need to actively collect evidence that contradicts the old threat forecast. Every time you take the small action and nothing bad happens, that is data, but your brain will not file it automatically. You have to notice it on purpose. You sent the message, and the world did not end. You spoke up in the meeting, and no one attacked you. These moments feel unremarkable while they are happening. That is precisely why they get discarded instead of remembered. Bad is stronger than good, unless you deliberately intervene and make the good ones stick. Here is a question worth sitting with. How many pieces of evidence do you already have, sitting unused, that you are safer than your instincts currently believe? Probably more than you think. Think back over the last month. How many times did you speak up, send the message, or take the small step, and the outcome was simply neutral, not triumphant, not disastrous, just fine? Those moments rarely get counted as wins because nothing dramatic happened. But nothing dramatic happening is exactly the evidence your nervous system needs. Ordinary, uneventful outcomes are the proof that the danger your body prepared for was never really there. Most people are carrying around a nervous system still calibrated to a threat that stopped being relevant years ago. An old rejection, an old failure, a single sharp moment that got weighted far beyond its actual size and never got updated since. You are not broken. You are simply running outdated software, built for a world with real physical danger, now applied to a world made mostly of uncertainty and social risk. You do not need to eliminate fear to move forward. That was never actually the requirement. You only need to stop mistaking its presence for a signal that something is wrong. Fear will show up. It is supposed to show up. Its job is to protect you, not to accurately predict outcomes. Let it exist in the background while you take the small, low-stakes step anyway. Let your actions, repeated quietly, become the evidence your nervous system has been missing. So tonight, or tomorrow morning, pick the one thing you have been circling without landing on. Do not commit to finishing it. Commit only to the smallest possible first motion. Open the draft. Read the first line. Sit in the room for 2 minutes. That is enough. That is the entire strategy. Because your brain was never trying to make you happy in the first place. It was only ever trying to keep you safe. And the fastest way to earn its trust is not to fight it, but to quietly, repeatedly show it that the thing it fears is smaller than it thinks.